Welcome back. I often hear feedback that Microsoft Cloud App Security is really only meant for Azure and Office 365. And the purpose of this video is to talk about the third-party capabilities of MCAS, because after all, it is a CASB, or a Cloud Access Security Broker. So here we are inside MCAS at my connected apps, and you can see I've connected Dropbox and Okta and G Suite and AWS, in addition to some Microsoft apps. And I have other third-party apps I can also connect as well. Now, when I go to connect one of these apps, talk about Google Workspace as an example, it's fairly easy to connect. I just have to input some parameters from that app. And there's a great document here that they will walk you through how to do that. So once I have the app connected, it allows me to do multiple things with it. So for example, here I can go and browse the activity log. And within the activity log of that app, I can see all the operations from end users in that app. So here's where people are logging in, where they're downloading items and manipulating items and copying data. And I can click on the item. I can see telemetry about what's happening. I can even cross-correlate it with what else is happening across the environment. It gives me a lot of control. And then if I go to files, this allows me to look at the file activity of that app. So in this case, we're looking at G Suite, and here I could see files stored in G Suite. I can see who the owner is and what permissions are. I even have the ability to change things about the file. And then from here, if I click on the URL of the file, it takes me directly out and shows me that file within that app, in this case, G Suite. So that's files. So that's pretty cool. Now, if I go over here and I click on security configuration under the sunglasses, this is where I can start looking at what is the security configuration of some IaaS providers like AWS and Google Cloud Platform. And so this is where it's integrated with AWS, and I can see the CIS recommendations here for AWS in my configuration, and then go out there and be able to look at them a little deeper. And this would log me into AWS when I click on it. So that's pretty cool. Now, the other thing I like about this is being able to do policies for those apps. So if I try to create a new policy, like let's say a file policy, I can then comb through all the data in an app. So let's go ahead and set my filter to an app like Google Cloud, for example. I can comb through all the data in that app. I can look for things like a credit card number, or do exact data match, or even a document fingerprint or machine learning. And once I find that piece of information in that app, I can apply governance actions. Maybe one of the governance actions might be assign an Azure Information Protection label, encrypting the data in that app, in addition to other things. So maybe I might just want to go out and look to see, well, hey, is there any files shared publicly in that app? If there is, then go ahead and remove public access as an example. So I can apply governance actions to files in that third-party app. Now, if we go back to my policies for a moment and we click on create policy, I can also create session policies, which allows me to control certain activities in that app, whether it's blocking cut, copy, paste, or maybe controlling a download. So this is where I can see if you're trying to download data out of say Google Cloud as an example, I can block that download from happening, or I can apply protection to it and apply an information protection label to it and encrypt it upon download. So again, many different capabilities to apply to apps. Now I can also have a user and entity behavioral analytics capability for users that are accessing those apps. So here's my user, and if she were logging into AWS or G Suite or any of those apps that are connected and anomalous activity starts happening, it would show up here. And then I can go in and take action for that app. So in this case with G Suite, I can go in and do a number of different things. And then lastly, I can go in and manage OAuth apps. So in my case for Google Workspace, users might be adding their own OAuth apps, like Salesforce here, to G Suite. And this is where I can approve or I can ban that OAuth app for that third-party application. So again, there's many different capabilities here when the app is connected, or when it's added as a security configuration app, or when we're doing something like conditional access app control and we have it added as well, which supports hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of different apps. Okay, so I hope you found some value in this, and hopefully it helps you to understand that there's a lot more capabilities to MCAS outside of just governing Office 365 and Azure. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd love to hear your comments and feedback. Many more videos coming on MCAS, so stay tuned and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.